Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. I am Katya Kletter. I lead the marketing activation here at Willow, and I'm really excited to be hosting this conversation, not just as someone who's passionate about kids' oral health, but also as a mom of three who knows how tough it is to keep routines on track during busy transition times like back to school season. When life gets hectic, oral care can sometimes fall to the bottom of the list. And today we're here to talk about how to change that. Joining me is someone who brings a ton of experience and energy to this topic, Lisa Copeland. Hey, Lisa.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. Lisa is a registered dental hygienist, certified speaking professional, and certified virtual presenter. She's founder of Communicate with Influence, a global speaker, and a true Gen X powerhouse. She's also a former Ironman athlete, and honestly, that level of dedication shows in everything she does. Lisa is the past president of National Speaker Association's Northwest chapter and has spent her career helping professionals and families connect more effectively, especially around health and wellness. I'm so thrilled to have her here to talk about how to make oral hygiene easier, more consistent, and even a little bit more fun for our kids and for ourselves. Lisa, welcome. I'm so glad
Thank
to have
you.
you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you for being with us. So let's start talking about back to school time. Back to school time often feels like a family reset month. I myself just came back from vacation with my kids, and quite frankly, it is really difficult to transition. We go from staying late at night, having hard time talking about brushing teeth, late mornings, to now having to get used to getting up on time, doing a lot more structured things. From your perspective as a dental professional, why this is such an important time to reestablish oral hygiene routines?
It's a natural reset point. Back to school, new schedules, new energy, new times. Like you said, right? You stay up late and you go to bed later and you get up later. And it's a really good time to reset because it's a natural transition going back to school. So it's the perfect time for parents to kind of reboot the brushing habits that, as you mentioned, get a little bit lax over the summer. And I know I don't have children, but I know I get a little bit lax with things that I do during the summer as well. It's a natural transition just for everybody, I think. And it's to help reestablish consistency before the bad habits set in, right? Because it's a big change. It's a big change for everybody, parents and kids.
Yes, yes, indeed. End of summer does bring a lot of transition for families. To your point, new schedules, school stress, shifting routines. I would like to talk about what are some of the common oral health habits that tend to slip during that time, and how can families refocus?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I see is kids skipping evening brushing typically and or rushing through it and rushing through their routine and without supervision because parents you know they have to pick their battles and toothbrushing isn't one of them. And so the key is to refocus with a visual schedule or a brushing checklist to bring accountability. And everybody needs a little bit of help during this transition, right? And so try to get more consistent with, okay, did you do this, this, and this? And if you do it in the same order every time, it just becomes a natural routine.
It's interesting how you refer to it as a battle. Indeed, that's exactly the experiences I can relate to, especially during busy transition times. And back to school mornings and evenings can be chaotic. What advice do you have for parents to try to keep oral care priority during those morning, evening rushed routines?
So you want to build the brushing into non-negotiable checklists, right? Just like packing a lunch or packing your backpack, making sure you have everything in order. So the routines have to be easy for them to be able to maintain them. And no kid's ever going to balk at a little bit of fun. So make it fun for them to work into their routine. And I know you and I talked about this earlier, that you have a new Willow brush called the Brushbot. It's portable, it's easy to use, it's parent approved. They put the toothpaste in it and press the go button, and off they go. Right. So, as a dental professional, I'm all about offering practical, affordable solutions, and Brushbot really checks those boxes because it's so easy for them to adjust to and to get into their routines.
Yeah, and this is so important, especially those chaotic times. And to your point, Brushbot provides an option to do that. I can relate to the need also to take those routines anywhere you go with the school year starting, whether it's sleepovers that the kids would want, or going to grandparents, or even traveling for sports. Now, I know I'm pretty busy with my own kids, so taking the routine anywhere we go is also very important. So that's really interesting that you're pointing that out. So you've seen firsthand how technology can support better oral home care. What stands out to you about the Willow brushing system, or Willow Brushbot, and how does it help both kids and parents succeed?
I think the biggest thing is it removes the daily battles, like we talked about, right? And the guesswork. And the bonus is it removes 7 times more plaque than a manual toothbrush. Kids are really challenged with dexterity to move a manual toothbrush around all the surfaces of the teeth. And Willow takes the guesswork out. So it's designed specifically for the kids to help promote independence, which also builds their confidence, and peace of mind for the parents, because that's really important too. They know that their kids are getting a consistent 2-minute brushing every time they use either of the Willow products.
Perfect point. And I know for me as a parent, it's so very important, not only for my kids to want to do it, to make it a habit and build it in the routine, but for it to work. So I, as a parent, have a peace of mind. That's critical. So to your point, it's designed specifically for kids, and actually, the parents can breathe a sigh of relief. So you work with many families. What's one message you would share with caregivers looking to make this a seasonal reset more successful for their kids and for themselves?
You don't have to be perfect at everything, right? I think a lot of times in our society, we get bogged down by perfection, and success is all about consistency, not perfection. So anchor the oral care routines to another daily habit, right? Like getting dressed or having breakfast. And again, do it in the same order every day so that it just becomes a habit. And then brushing becomes more of a fixed routine. So it's more likely to stick for a lifetime. And we all know habits are hard to break and they're very hard to make. So give yourself a little bit of slack as well if you're not perfect, because we don't have to be perfect. So think about the small wins are going to lead to success, like better checkups or a smoother morning to get out the door, right? You're not struggling to get everybody together and their backpacks and their lunches and out the door to catch the bus or catch their ride. It just gives you a little bit more sense of consistency.
I love that. And I think any parent can relate and appreciate that we don't have to be perfect. Actually, consistency is the key here. And it's so very important. Again, as parents, we often put that undue pressure on ourselves to be perfect, to do perfect, and for our kids to also do the perfect things. But consistency, to your point, is the key here when we talk about building lifelong habits. So, from your experience, how can families use this back to school season as an opportunity to build a stronger, more sustainable oral health routine for their kids?
So, like we talked about in the beginning, just reset your routines. Get back to that brushing twice a day, and not just for your kids, but as a family, because you're going to create habits. You're an example for them. So modeling those good habits is really powerful. They see everything that we do and everything that they hear everything we say, and it creates moments of connection in the process of creating those routines.
Yes, indeed. So, In conclusion, maybe in one sentence, if you may, what's your top tip for helping families reset their routines and keep oral health on track this school year?
Ooh, just one sentence. I might go over that. um, I'd say first, put the right tools in place to set your kids up for success. And you want to start simple, stay consistent. That's kind of been the theme for our whole chat today. And celebrate the small wins, because routines aren't built overnight. They are built together.
Mm. Yes, yes, indeed. Maybe not one sentence, but that was really, really important and key in the discussion. No, that was perfect. That was a perfect summary, for sure, when it comes to helping families set routines, meaningful routines, and effective oral care during this new school year. Um, Lisa, it was a pleasure talking to you, and your insights, as always, are very helpful. I appreciate the time together.
Oh, the pleasure's mine. Thanks so much for the invitation. And I always enjoy talking about oral hygiene. And also, the Willow products are just fantastic. So I'm so happy to be here today.
Thank you for being our advocate.